Welcome back to Simply Shemane. Today's show is literally epic. I've got some great guests, Senator Amanda Chase, Debbie Georgatos, and Jaco Booyens. And the information that they provide is enlightening, inspiring, and will change your life. Trust me on that. Plus, at the end, we got to have some fun. So we do just that. But first, I want to talk to you about my sponsors, Patriot Mobile, Ruff Greens, and Senior Care of Michigan. I couldn't do the show without them. And it really means a lot if you would go check out Patriot Mobile. They've got a great special, a great discount. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh gosh, who wants to change? Who wants to sit on hold and change their cell phone? But I did it, and it was like that. I'm not going to say it's easy as pie. It's way easier than that, because making pie, quite frankly, it's really hard. So it's much easier than that. And you know what? Here's the bottom line. At the end of the day, I'm so proud of being partnered with a Christian conservative wireless network like Patriot Mobile. And then I got to tell you about Ruff Greens. I was a customer. Well, I personally wasn't a customer, but my dogs were customers of Ruff Greens before they became a sponsor of this show. And, we all love our dogs. If, you're here in the United States, you're one of those people, and you have dogs, you're one of those people who will say, yeah, I don't mind spending an extra 10 or 20 bucks on a dog bed or on dog treats. But do you really care about the quality of their food? Do you look at the ingredients? I do. It takes me forever to shop for dog food. And I realize that they're not getting all the nutrients that they should. They are not getting probiotics, and they should. And Ruff Greens provides all of that. And if you care about your dogs, if you care about your health, and I know, it breaks my heart. One year I lost 3 dogs, and it about killed me. And I don't want to have to do that again. They don't live long enough, but I want to give them the most nutrients to support them for as long as can be. If we can get an extra 5 years out of that, wouldn't that be great? Check out Ruff Greens. It's going to provide your dogs with the nutrients that they're not getting, especially in dry dog food. So check it out. It's all human grade ingredients that you can actually eat. All right, check it out. Patriot Mobile, Ruff Greens, and Senior Care of Michigan. We'll be right back.
Simply Shemane is powered by Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless service provider.
Senator Amanda Chase is running for governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia to put the power back in the hands of we the people. As a conservative warrior, and I will attest, she is a warrior, Senator Chase has never backed down or wavered in the fight for our principles. Amanda, thank you so much for being here.
Well, Shemane, it's an honor to be here with you today. Thanks for inviting me to come on.
When Ted and I had the great privilege to be in your presence, and I got to see how you worked and your camaraderie with your fellow Virginians, it feels like you're a female version of Ted.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Neither one of us were politically correct. I mean, we just call things the way that we see them. And I think people they're tired of the political correctness. I think they want someone that's going to speak to them truth. And, some people say that's controversial. Well, if I'm going to speak the truth, sometimes the truth is controversial. But that's what people want. They don't want you to sugarcoat what's going on. They want the facts.
And, Amanda, the fight now seems to be a spiritual fight, and that the Democrats are trying to take God out of the Pledge of Allegiance, out of our schools, and out of our lives. Have you noticed that in your community?
Well, absolutely. And I can give you a perfect example of that. I was talking to someone who is working very closely with my team, who's actually a pastor. And the mayor of the town had taken the prayer out of the meetings that they have. They said that, we're not going to open with prayer. And he challenged them on that. This was yesterday. And he said, look, we're going to give a few minutes of silence. People can pray to whoever they want to pray to. But listen, one thing you said, I would tell you, I don't even think there is a Democrat Party anymore. I think they've been hijacked by the Marxists.
I agree. Why do you think that other people don't see that yet?
Well, I think people are waking up to that. And as I travel across the state of Virginia, and everybody, people who formerly even called themselves Democrats and are walking away from the party have said, this is not the party that I grew up to believe in. It used to be, in some cases, the Democratic Party was more of a JFK Democratic Party, the old Dixie Democrats. They're realizing that their party's been hijacked. And then you have also Republicans who feel that they're out of touch with just real people. There are a whole bunch of people in the middle who say, I'm an American. I'm not political. I don't like politics, but I love my country. And I'm tired of tyrannical governors like we have here in Virginia, dictating what I can and cannot do, limiting our constitutional freedoms in light of even a state of emergency or COVID as it speaks right now. And I've always told people, even during a crisis like COVID, we still have to respect the Constitution. So we educate, we don't mandate. It should never be a Class 1 misdemeanor, meaning a $2,500 fine or up to a year in jail for not complying with a governor's executive order to wear a mask, to limit the number of people, to, if you, at one point, you couldn't even go to church, you couldn't worship if you had more than 10 people. And I think the government has overstepped its bounds, and it's intruded and infringed on the rights of every single Virginian and American, and everyone has woken up. And they're saying, stop infringing on my freedoms, stop infringing on my ability to do what I want to do as an individual. And these are inalienable, God-given rights, to your point. And they are trying, they started many years ago in the 60s, stripping God out of our public schools, taking prayer out of school. And we have seen that systematically at a great cost to our society, taking God out of everything.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for stepping outside your comfort zone and for putting yourself in the race. The problem I see it is that what's going on with the Democrats, the hate and the vitriol, is that it's preventing a lot of good people like you from getting into public service and running for public office. And so God bless you, and thank you so much for speaking out.
Well, thank you. And thanks for reaching out to conservatives. A lot of times we don't have the opportunity to reach people because we are bullied, quite honestly, by the media. Our message doesn't always get out. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, stay strong and stay healthy. And I can't wait to come visit you again on that horse farm.
Sounds great. Thanks, Shemane. God bless you.
Let's have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
We are living in a time of uncertainty, a time when so many things feel outside of our control. Many Americans are concerned about what this means for their future and for their retirement. At Senior Care of Michigan, we believe strongly in helping people take control of their financial future through proper planning and risk management. Let us help you achieve the retirement that you deserve. To schedule a free consultation, call our office or visit us online today.
My next guest, Debbie Georgatos, is a conservative talk show host, and her show's called America, Can We Talk? She's also a public speaker and an author. Debbie, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Shemane. It's great to be here.
And I can't wait to talk to you about conservative women. Tell me why that's so important to you.
To me, conservative women are really just the women in America who think more deeply about what our country's founded on, what America is supposed to be all about, and preserving it. It's about conserving the unique greatness of America, which began really at the founding of America. The ideas, the Declaration of Independence that say you have the right to live in liberty. That's what America is supposed to be about. And conservatism is largely trying to embrace that and hold on to conservatism and hold on to the ideas of America.
Which this country is founded on one nation under God.
Yes.
Why does it seem like the Democrats are trying to push God out of, they're not trying to, they are. They're taking God out of our pledge, out of our schools. And during the quarantine, we could, go to the liquor store or go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee, but we couldn't go to church and worship God when we needed him the most.
That is so well said. You're exactly right. And I actually think what you should be able to figure out from what the left, how they handled all the quarantine, is their perception of what America should be like. God does not play a role in their view of America now or America of the future. It doesn't fit into the leftist worldview, into the Marxist socialist view. In fact, throughout history, whenever socialists took over a nation, among the first things they did was to eliminate the church, arrest priests, arrest pastors, because when people have faith in God, they won't listen to the government to the extent that Marxists and socialists must have the people listen to them.
Did you ever think this country would get to this point? We're like Venezuela, almost.
We are. Oh, we are. In 1999, I believe it was 1999, when Hugo Chavez was first elected, he said so many things that are identical to what the American Democrat Party is saying today. Don't worry. Nothing will change. Everything will be great. And everything will be free. You'll have free health care and free housing and free food and free education. And somehow all of your freedoms will remain intact. And there are now in America, many, I've had some on my show, people who grew up in Venezuela who are saying, look, I can tell you what happens when you embrace these ideas, when you put these ideas in power in your country. They're trying to warn Americans, don't do to America what we, the voters in Venezuela, did when we brought Hugo Chavez in.
What do you say to women who are, and I don't know if you have anybody in your close circle of friends or your family who is on the opposing viewpoint. It's hard to change their opinion. My theory is people who weren't particularly religious before the quarantine suddenly found a new religion in COVID-19. And that's their religion. You got to wear the masks. A lot of people are saying, is this really about the virus? I mean, it's true, it's out there, and it's serious. But do you really think that everything that we're going through is about the virus? And what do you say to those people who they just don't want to hear what you have to say as a conservative woman?
There's so many great questions, what you just said.
I know, right?
I love that. I do a very similar thing on my own show. I will start with, I used to do workshops called Politically Speaking to try to encourage people to have conversations, to say, just because someone says, oh, we're on opposite sides, we're supposed to be in America able to talk to each other. And you can learn ways to talk to each other, plant seeds, plant little ideas, actually listen to each other. I think we need to try to get back to that. But you're very right that for many people, nothing you can say will change their minds.
Yeah.
On COVID in particular, I'm so glad. I didn't know we were going to go here today. But on COVID in particular, I think back in March, when America became aware about COVID and concerned about it, many people were willing to give government powers that be a lot of leeway to say, well, this appears to be what we have to do. We have to shelter in place. We're trying to protect ourselves. But American people are smart, and they read and they listen. And now here we are. And you have, since March, you've had doctor after doctor stepping up, coming forward saying, actually, this is unhealthy the way we're handling this. We had experts from Stanford and Yale saying, we never quarantine the healthy. We never do this. We have doctors saying they have treated COVID patients with treatments that were effective. Hydroxychloroquine, inhaled budesonide. There's a new product, oleandrin. And the idea that doctors are saying, I've seen this work, And somehow the government is saying, no, none of that is permissible. Don't look at that guy behind the screen. Listen to us, stay home until the vaccine's ready. I think America's not going to put up with it anymore.
We're getting exhausted because we did what they told us. We flattened the curve. And it's kind of like they just keep putting out one regulation after another. We're all starting to wake up. This makes no sense. It's not about the virus anymore. It's clearly about the election.
Yes.
And what scares me, though, is that the people who are on the other side, and I agree with you, asking questions, like when they say, oh, I have a friend who is not a Trump supporter. And when I asked why, there's no answer that she could give other than his tweets.
Yeah. Don't like his tweets, don't like his personality. That's actually a huge calling, I think, for women in America. And this is one of the messages I've been trying to say in my show repeatedly, which is I think more women are rising in their understanding of the stakes in this election cycle. I mean, up here is the question, are we going to have America the free, America the land of opportunity, or are we going to go over the cliff to socialism? And I think the more people realize how radical the left is, they realize I have to vote up here, the thinking up here about saving America. I can't get down into the pit, into the snake pit of discussing who has a better personality, who does better tweets, who should have not said something or said something. These are big stakes. And I think the American women are going to rise up and defend their country.
I hope so, because life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are at stake. Everything is riding on this election.
Right. It could not, it's funny because I've been kind of political for a long time, and almost every election cycle, someone will say, this is the most important election in American history. They always say it, the most important election. And so when you say it again, they say, oh yeah, I hear that every year. But it could not be more true this time because of how radical the left has become. What we used to think was an extremist leftist element of communists, Marxists, socialists, that's mainstream Democrat Party today. That's who they have become.
And it's clear. They're not hiding anymore. It's in plain sight. Well, thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate you being here. How can people find you and find your show?
Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that. My show is called America Can We Talk? It is available. If you just look up, don't say Google, maybe Bing or DuckDuckGo, look up America Can We Talk? It's available on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and really any of the major podcast aggregators. I love talking about America and preserving America, and that's what my show is all about.
Would you come back again?
You know I will. I would love to come back. Thank you so much.
What makes Patriot Mobile so different is their drive to support conservative and Christian values.
They support organizations fighting for religious freedom, First and Second Amendment rights, sanctity of life, and the needs of our great veterans and first responders.
It's America's only Christian conservative wireless service provider.
There's a great promotion going on right now. Call now to get their Stand Up for Freedom promotion.
And it's a limited time, just now through November 7th. And all you have to do is call for more details. You can find out all about it. And you know what, Ted? It's easy to switch, even for you.
I'll believe that when I see it.
You can do it.
I trust Patriot Mobile.
You can get the same reliable nationwide service. And you can keep your phone. You can bring your own phone.
Or buy a new one.
Or you can get a new one. And you can also get a free Premier activation and free gift.
Call now, 972-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Shemane.
And the promo code is
STAND.
Support a company that shares your morals and values. Faith, family,
country, freedom, law and order, Patriot Mobile.
My true passion here at Senior Care Michigan is helping clients organize their financial plans so they can make it through retirement years, making life a lot easier on them.
We do make sure that your assets are going to be protected at Senior Care Michigan.
It was my calling to help a lot of families, retirees, straighten out difficult problems.
Let us help you achieve the retirement that you deserve. Call us today to get started at 810-658-6722 or visit us online at scmichigan.com.
Well, he was on our show last week, and I had to have him back again this week. Jaco Booyens is here. He is the CEO and founder of Share Together. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that you came back again. We're going to talk more about human trafficking and how you rescue victims of human trafficking, and what is involved in that?
Yeah, I think, Shemane, there's so many different factors, and there's so many really good organizations in our country doing amazing work. But it's relentless work. It's tireless, and these people do amazing things. But you have to understand, there has to be a awareness prevention campaign where we stop the flow. We have to go after demand. Supply meets demand in any product. Whether we sell this amazing mug of yours or a t-shirt on your show, supply meets demand. And so there's such demand for sex with children in our country.
I gotta tell you that.
I know,
you
it's
told me to interrupt you, and I'm going to interrupt. It blows my mind. I don't understand what kind of I don't even want to call it a human being. Who does that?
You'll be surprised. The average male, and it's normally men, north of 90% of the buyer is male, not female, right? And some females buy too. But the average male that pays for sex with a child in our country, on average, is a father of 2 that earns north of $100,000 a year. It's not who you think. By me saying what I just said to you, it opens up the country. Pastors, teachers, principals, police chiefs, sitting state U.S. senators, janitor, the guy next door, the plumber, they've all been arrested and reprimanded and apprehended for having sex with children. Because this thing does not discriminate. It's sexual immorality. And I'm telling you today, the feeder drug that creates demand is pornography. You cannot separate porn from child sex trafficking or sex trafficking for adults even. There's not a single pedophile that's not a porn addict. And so I say this, when you are watching porn, and this may be very convicting for your viewers, but when people say, Jaco, I want to fight sex trafficking, our children matter, my first question always is, are you part of the problem? And you hear the tires squeak. They go, what do you mean? I said, do you watch porn? Well, yeah, but you are feeding the beast. No, you're maybe not touching a child, but you put yourself on the track. Do not be on that track. Yep. Because when life happens to you, a divorce, financial crisis, you spiral. If you're a heavy drinker, when you spiral here in life, down you go in drinking. Porn destroys, and over 60% of college female students today are hooked on porn. We have sexualized our culture to a place where the woman's body is about sex, it's about self-gratification, love has become a feeling and an emotion, right? We have trained, conditioned our celebrities. We sell, cereal with sex today. It's all sex, 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 and now where they go younger and younger, so now all of a sudden you've got huge demand, right? And somebody's going to supply.
And when you talk about porn, the first thing that popped into my mind was every time you turn on mainstream media, there is a version of that. Yeah. I'll never forget that just watching the music videos, like flipping through the channels, and I don't understand how girls can wear shorts with their butt cheeks hanging out and what they're saying on music. It's not music.
No, it's propaganda.
It's propaganda, yeah.
It's indoctrination, because you got to understand who clears, music, who clears the songs and whatever. But now remember, most recently, we have a film Cuties. Now all of a sudden, it's not okay for the girls to be 22, 23 anymore. Why is the film Cuties in the United States? Because the demand want younger. They want children. They want sex with children. They want sexual images with children. Don't for one second think Reed Hastings at Netflix just said, well, let's go find it. No, the demand is demanding sexualized children, and we have American corporations that's willing to offer them on a platter.
And they're not even hiding. It's in plain sight.
Of course, because they've desensitized America that sex is okay. Very much like what happened in the culture of the Catholic Church. You normalize it, and at some point the people just don't push back anymore. We embraced the sexual revolution in the 60s in this country, and we're in really, really deep trouble. Very deep trouble at the moment, because when you have people, American citizens, defend pedophilia, back it up as it's not that bad, right? We're so far down that track So we have to curb demand. So it's on every single man that's watching the show and on every woman that's watching the show to go to her man and say, listen, if you're in porn, if you watch porn, I'm not going to leave, but we can't be part of the problem.
And not only that, your kids, watch what your kids are wearing. I see
And
these.
watching.
And watching. And nowadays, everything is available on their phones. It's I think about when my parents were growing up in the 50s, what they had to deal with, and, all the shows that were, the problems of that era were, what to make for dinner. And the housewife in the home and the family unit.
That's right.
Now they're trying to destroy it. And, BLM has come out and said, we don't even want that the traditional family unit. We don't want that anymore. No. How is it that people are buying into that? I don't understand.
I can tell you how. Because if I may use you as an example, okay. If I can get you to become a porn user.
Well, you can go ahead.
Can't. Yeah. You can't. But if I can get a person, Susie, to become a porn user, Susie will not fight it because of her own shame, her own regret, her own self-judgment. Do you understand?
I do kind of.
No, it's just where it is. Susie goes into hiding because Susie's sin, Susie's transgression may be uncovered here. Now, you do have people that are so cavalier that will donate to an anti-trafficking organization that will we've had to help shut down anti-trafficking organizations that were run by a pedophile. So you got to be careful. The wolf in sheep's clothing too. Yeah. But it is on the American father to take his family back. It's on the American father, because you can draw a timeline. Prayer out of schools. Then they did what? It's like a checklist. Then they did what? Question the fabric of family. Then they did what? Question whether marriage is between a man and a woman. Then they did what? Question whether gender is two genders. Then they did what? Question what is pedophilia. Are you sure it's not just a condition? And that's the slope. And so it's literally like they've got a game plan.
Yeah.
And you push. You get culture to embrace it. You literally get Beyonce halftime at the Super Bowl to enact that she's Athena, the sex goddess, half naked, pregnant, and she's telling every 12-year-old girl that watches the Super Bowl, my dad loves football, so we endorse this. That's how you get attention. That's what your body is for. You tell every young boy, your girl should be doing that. Do you know that the entry level, on average, the entry level of porn use for men today is age 8? 8.
Seriously?
8.
Why? Because, do you think because of social media and
it's accessible?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Grotesque porn is free on YouTube. So you don't need to push a kid to porn. You drop certain words and you know that child is going to go Google. You know that child is going to search. Take your phone, but watch out. Yeah. Type in some words I can give you and you watch what comes free. Now I ask the question, because I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a capitalist. I'm a Christian, I'm a conservative, so I do not believe in government censorship. But I will tell you this. Our big tech companies hide behind certain sections of the government, 230, and they're getting away with the most grotesque things because they censor, they publish, and they allow things to happen. Kids are being trafficked through Facebook, through Xbox, through PlayStation, online chat, predators online, through TikTok and Instagram. Are the corporations trafficking children? No, but their platforms are being used by predators and they're doing nothing about it. Zero. Nothing.
Is this not Sodom and Gomorrah? I mean,
100%.
100%.
It's embracing darkness, evil.
Yeah.
You heard a child, there's evil in your heart.
Yeah.
There's evil, okay? When your sexual fantasy and satisfaction is more important than that child's life. Because the average lifespan of a child that's being trafficked is 7 years. They die.
Yeah.
Suicide through the roof. Addiction. We don't even want to talk about forced abortions because she can't work if she's pregnant. It's interlocked. It's interlaced. We have to understand that we can't wait on the government, or the police are doing such a good job. Fund the police.
Yes.
We need more police.
Yes.
We need special task forces. You can't, by the way, fight America sex trafficking without police. Yes. All right? Because as much experience as I have, I can't go through a door to rescue a child without a warrant, which means with police present, or I'll get arrested, right? For breaking and entering. It's a sick notion, but it's by design again, because the first departments in the police department that got defunded When they defunded the police, were special task forces, such as the child trafficking task forces.
Interesting.
We got to get our minds back. Fathers, take your home back. Build family. Family. We got to fight this thing ground up
Yeah.
in our communities.
Well, thank you for doing what you're doing and for speaking out.
Thank you.
Please let me know whatever I can do, and we're going to share.
You're doing it.
Well, thank you.
You're building a nation here.
Yes, we're speaking out. That's what I like about having this platform. There's one good thing about social media is that we can reach people, even though it's being suppressed at times. If people share this, then we can reach more people. But it's about raising awareness, and now more than ever, it's so important. So thank you. You got to stay healthy and take care of yourself too, because you got a lot of work to do.
You're amazing. The show is amazing.
Oh, you're awesome.
Support this woman.
Well, thank you. Will you come back again?
Of course.
Again and again. All right. Stick around. We'll be right back. Our dogs are like family to us. Honestly, the highlight of my day is being able to spend time with them. No matter what kind of mood I'm in, bad hair, they don't care. And they always make me smile. Except, of course, when they don't feel good. Ruff Greens is 100% natural, highly concentrated nutrition from fruits and vegetables with essential vitamins and minerals, probiotics, no GMOs, added corn, or artificial ingredients. And you know what? My dogs love it. I became a customer before they sponsored this show. If you want your dogs to have better joint health, better digestion, and more energy, add Ruff Greens to their food and keep your furry friends a part of your family for a long, long time. Use promo code Shemane for 10% off any purchase.